Good afternoon. Let's all mute our mics for national anthem.
Hello and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lena Kirigwa. I'm excited to be given this opportunity to be here with you this afternoon. We apologize for starting the meeting a few minutes late. It happened due to technical difficulties, but don't worry, we are all winners at the end of the day. So we won't take so much time because time has already been consumed, and we'd like to say that the theme of this particular meeting is promoting entrepreneurship through innovation. And when the word of innovation comes into mind, it makes you think of something new to start on or something to improve on. And innovation can come in 4 categories, whereby the first can be sustaining, it can also be incremental, disruptive, or radical. But all 4 categories can make you either be successful or even improve on the products and services that you will be handling. So what we are going to do this particular moment, we are going to invite Mr. Mwatata J. Mwangala, that's the chairman of Hazina Development Trust Limited. Kindly, for those who've just logged in, thank you for logging in, and I would request and humbly ask you that you may mute your mics, that we may be able to listen to the trainers who will be speaking this afternoon. So, Mr. Mwatata Mwangala, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Lena. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of us into today's program. As already mentioned by Lena, my name is Mwatata Juma, the chairman of Hazina Group of Companies. And I want to welcome all of us into today's launch, where we are launching our 3rd cohort. Our 3rd cohort for the Accelerator program. So that means we have had the 1st and the 2nd, And I will want to introduce us to the group that is Hazina Group of Companies. Yes, so as already mentioned, we are a group of companies, and the main company is Hazina Development Trust Limited, which is a microfinancing company that mainly deals in microcredit and funding the entrepreneurs in the different sectors that they are in. And that company, we also have subsidiary companies. We have Hazina Insurance Agency Limited that deals in all kinds of insurance policies. And we have entered into different agreements with a number of institutions. We also have Hazina Advisory Services Limited, which is basically the company that houses this accelerator program. And under this company, we do training, consultancy, we do mentorship, and offer different kinds of trainings. And also, we run this current program under this institution. We also have the new kid in the block, which is the Hazina Foundation, which is basically our charitable arm of the group that will also be soon rolling out its various activities. And finally, we have an associate, a company that we're associated with, which is Hazina Partners Limited, where we allow our members to own a stake in our organization. We are guided and led by a board of directors, and I am the chairman of the board of directors. And then we have Mr. Zayad, who doubles up as Mr. Zayad Said, who is the CEO and also the vice chair of the board. And we have other non-executive directors. We have Heidi Mumia, we have Madam Lucy Ogendi, we have Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim, we have Caroline Mboku. All these are the members of the board that runs at the policy level of this organization. And therefore, I just want to invite us all into this day's agenda. I just wanted to give you a snapshot of our company, and I believe that we will all enjoy the day's activities. We shall all participate in all the various areas as we shall be called upon. Thank you very much and welcome. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for that. Each introduction on all about what the Hazina Accelerator is going to be all about. I'd like to take this chance to take it to Mr. Zayad, who's going to expound more on what Mr. Juma was talking about. Mr. Zayad, to you.
All right, so the reason as to why we are meeting this afternoon is because of the launch of Hazina Accelerator Program. And we've all been waiting to know what is Hazina Accelerator Program all about. Thank you, Mr. Motata, for the brief introduction of the group. Apologies, the slides could not be projected because of the technical hitches. So I'll start introducing Hazina Accelerator with a very personal story. Back in 2011, when we were starting Hazina, we had a lot of challenges that we faced as the founders of this great institution. And some of these challenges are, one, we had no clear knowledge of what a microfinance is supposed to be operated, or how we're supposed to manage an institution of that caliber. Another challenge is we did not have godfathers who could guide us on how to run such an institution. And lastly, we did not have sufficient funding to run a microfinance institution. So these are three challenges that we faced as the founders of Hazina. And the same challenges are also faced by many entrepreneurs starting businesses all over. So we're looking at solving those three challenges through the Hazina Accelerator program. And this is a program that is designed to provide entrepreneurs all over Kenya with the relevant skills to effectively run their businesses, to provide them with the mentorship support, and also to provide seed capital to realize their business potential. So the program basically is three-phased. The first phase is we provide training, as I've already mentioned, and we'll see how we provide that training through the program design. And then we also guide and mentor startup entrepreneurs, helping them to scale up, and we provide investment to these startup businesses. This is seed funding up to a tune of 300,000 to execute their business strategies. How do you join Hazina Accelerator program? We're looking at a business that is providing a solution to a genuine need that exists in the society. And this solution must be environmentally friendly. And number two, we're looking at a business that have a clear and a scalable business model. Number three is the business has to be generating revenues or has a minimum viable product with a high potential of generating sustained revenues. Number four is we want businesses where at least one founder of that business is participating in the business full-time. And we also look at the funding need of the business. So we finance up to a tune of 60% of the required capital, meaning the entrepreneur or the business must clearly demonstrate ability to contribute 40% of the required capital. And we support businesses that operate anywhere in Kenya, not necessarily in Mombasa or in the coastal region where Hazina Development Trust Limited is, but we support businesses that operate in all the 47 counties of this beautiful nation. And the business must have operated for a minimum of 6 months. So how's the program designed? Yeah, the program is designed into 5 stages. So the first stage is the application stage, whereby after the cohort has been officially launched today, we are going to open our application via our website. The website is www.hazinaaccelerator.com. Then once the application window closes, we are going to select 50 best startups who are going to pitch before a panel of judges. And these 50 startups, 25 of them would qualify for the next stage. The next stage is the 25 who would have been selected will attend a 1-week training workshop whereby they are going to be trained extensively on how to execute their business strategies, first how to validate their business ideas, accounting, taxation, and legal, and many more. So it's a comprehensive training that goes for an entire week. And the last day of the training, we select the entrepreneurs will pitch, and we'll select 10 best entrepreneurs who would qualify or who would be considered for funding. The 25 from the workshop will then undergo a professional mentorship session for a period of 2 months. And this is not just for the 10, but all the 25 would undergo this mentorship, but 10, as I mentioned earlier, would qualify for funding. So as the mentorship is ongoing, we will do a due diligence for the 10 who have been selected for funding. And by the time we finish our mentorship session, we'll have the 10 who have completed their due diligence submit a business plan, and then we'll do a funding decision as the last stage. So this is how the program has been designed. And let's look at how the investment comes from Hazina. The investment can either be in a form of a joint investment, whereby we invest jointly in your business, with 60% coming from us and 40% coming from the entrepreneur. And the monthly revenue that is generated from the business is shared according to agreed ratios. And then the business would buy back our investment in a maximum of 4 years. So basically what you're trying to say is in a maximum of 4 years, we will have grown with you and you will own your business 100%. We can also invest in your business in form of asset financing. If your business requires assets, then Hazina Development Trust Limited will finance the assets on a cost plus basis, whereby all the costs associated with the buying of the assets are disclosed, and we also have agreed selling price on those items on deferred basis. Or we could also have a mixture of both, that is investment and asset financing combined. The program is officially being launched today, and after the official launch today by our chief guest, we'll have application window being opened from the website, which will go up to end of November 2021. After the application window has closed, we'll select 50 best startups, as I said, and we'll announce these 50 startups on 15th December 2021, and all of them will be notified of the result via email. And then we'll move on to selecting 25 startups. So these startups will pitch, and 25 that will be selected to attend the training workshop will be announced by 24th December 2021, where the 25 startups will attend the training workshop in Mombasa as from 24th January 2022, where the training workshop goes for a week. Then they do pitching on the last day, as I mentioned. And then after that, from 7th of February 2022, we'll have the formal or professional mentorship sessions, where the entrepreneurs will be linked with professional mentors and guide them on how to build on their business plans and how to grow their businesses. By end of March 2022, we'll bring the cohort to a close, whereby the funding decision will have been done by then, and the announcement will be done, and the entrepreneurs notified on the funding decision that would have been made by our investment committee. We have a pool of mentors that we are working with, and I'm just going to mention some of the mentors that are in the program, starting with our chairman, Mr. Motata Juma Mongala, who also doubles up as the managing director of Hazina Advisory Services Limited. We also have Madam Caroline Mboku, who is an advocate of the High Court and a proprietor of Mboku and Company Advocates. We have Mr. Vincent Otumbo, the CEO of SoftSkills Limited, Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim, who is the CEO of S Financial Advisory Services Limited, and Madam Heidi Mumia, who works at the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, and is also a non-executive director of Hazina Development Trust Limited. So these are some of our mentors, and we do welcome more mentors to join our program for the benefit of our startup entrepreneurs. We appreciate the partners that work with us in this journey, and some of the partners are SoftSkills Limited. These are training partners that we always work with to train our entrepreneurs, and also Intrasoft Institute of Technology. Swahilipot has been a key partner of this program from the beginning. Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Boku and Company Advocates. So these are some of our partners, and not forgetting our implementation partner of the program, which is Hazina Advisory Services Limited. So thank you very much, and we'll have a session, I believe, on questions and answers. So for those who will have questions, please you'll be given an opportunity to ask questions. And how you can reach us is you can always get in touch with us via our phone numbers 0706-247-815 or 0784-247-815, or you can write us an email via accelerator@hazinagroup.co.ke, or check out our website, hazinaaccelerator.com. Thank you very much, and back to you, Lina.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zayed, for that. For those who have also tuned in and joined in within this meeting, we'd like to say a very big karibu. And if you just missed on what was happening, we were getting a brief information about what Hazina Accelerator is all about and the processes that take place within the Hazina launch, and everything that you need to do, the advantages that we're having at the moment, and being the third launch, meaning there have been 2 launches before we got to the third one. This is the third cohort. Definitely a majority of us can be doubting Thomases. Sorry. And having been a doubting Thomas, either could be myself or anyone amongst us, I would like to tell you that there are people who are present here within the meeting that have also gone through this particular process, and I'd like to give them this opportunity so that they can also share with us on the experiences that they had during the training before, or as they kept on continuing within the competition, because it's not easy getting a startup that gives you 300,000 for you just to start a business, and all you have to do is just give an input of 40%. That's a very huge plus. I don't know about you. So I'd like to give this chance to one Mr. Boniface Care. I believe he's one of the participants present, and he's going to share with us what happened during his entrepreneurship process, and share with us the testimonies that he also has while doing this particular business with Hazina. Mr. Boniface, if you're present, kindly just switch on your mic on, and you can take us through as we listen in.
Okay. Hello. Able to
Good
hear me?
afternoon. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm Boniface Care. I'm the founder and CEO of Affordable Care Limited. We are located in Kilifi County. Actually, I'm very grateful. I was part of the cohort 2. Mentee for those of us who have startups and who have ambitions to become entrepreneurs who are sustaining and providing solutions to our society. My experience when I joined program was nice. It is from this program that I could learn skills in entrepreneurship, guidance, and so how up small level to large scale. After Boost is we are 6 months old. From training we got, we were taken through, we were able to get
Hello, Mr. Boniface. We can't quite get you clearly. Hello, Mr. Kerr.
Hello.
Yes, we cannot quite get you clearly. Kindly, could you please
Hello.
check? Yes. Could you please check your network signal? Because you're breaking up a little bit.
Hello.
Yes, go on, we're listening.
Okay, sorry for that. Sorry for that internet connection. That was a problem. So as I was saying, we scale level to I can't say that we've reached, but we are moving there. And also the reason why we joined this acceleration program, actually, we had two reasons. One, I wanted to get the skills, particularly on entrepreneurship, how we can do networking, and also how we can get funds so that we can make our startup grow. And it's from the training that I was able to meet a number of entrepreneurs, not only from within course, but from other parts of the country, as far as Kajiado, Nakuru, and we interacted with me on what we are doing. And then we were taken through the pitching sessions, and from these pitching sessions, we were able to compete. And as a startup, Apia Boost, we were able to get a chance to get funding, which I think it was around 350,000. We are still in the process of getting the funds because of a number of issues, but actually the program is very nice, and I encourage the other entrepreneurs who want to join this program to do, because it's from such programs that we are able to excel, we are able to grow, and we are able to provide sustainable solutions to the society. So I'm proud of Hazina Accelerator, particularly Mr. Zayad and the group for a good job they are doing out there. Thank you.
Okay, that was from Mr. Boniface Kerr. I'm hoping you've gotten to see how much he feels right now that he's an entrepreneur of his own. Another individual I'd like to bring to the floor is Mr. Kamaldeep Sandhu. Is he available? Oh, it's a lady. Oh my goodness. Sorry, madam. Ms. Kamaldeep, kindly, you may now speak to us. Is Ms. Kamaldeep available? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Kamaldeep, karibu.
Thank you so much. My name is Kamaldeep. I'm the founder of Malaika Gifts and Interiors, a brand handmade gift and interior shop. We are based in Nakuru, where we offer artisan space to display their products, which we not only help design, but also sell on their behalf. Now, what made me join this program? The reason why I joined this program was to gain skills to grow my business and have mentorship support. And still after the program, I still call Mr. Said sometimes to give me support on the program, which I find very, very helpful, especially when you are stuck somewhere and you just call him and he's always very happy to help you out. And I don't know how much we appreciate that from mentors giving us support. Now, my experience on the program was that after attending the program, I've completely changed my mindset of running my business, especially the training that we got. The trainers were so passionate. They had such a passion for the program that they were actually it wasn't just training, but they actually were making sure we understood what they were training. So I would really, really recommend that you apply for the program. And make sure you're always present. It isn't just for the sake of doing the program, but putting it into use. I have been in business for a very long time, but after this program, it completely changed my mindset of running my business. I was running it haphazardly, but the program has changed my way of doing business. And I actually look at my figures now. I used to not. I used to just, the accountant would give it to me, but after the program, I understood how to check my figures. So I would highly, highly recommend that you apply for this program. Now, what advice would I give you in joining the program? Please put into practice what you learn. Going on the program is one thing, but putting into practice what you learn is another. And I'm a very good example of that, is put into practice what you learn. And I'm sure by joining this program, you'll really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kamaldeep. I'm hoping all of you have gotten to listen in and be able to testify that indeed this process is necessary and it's very key and vital in our living, even in as much as with the current issue that is happening, not only locally, but also globally. Now that we're having the pandemic that is ongoing and people losing companies and closures and companies being auctioned, we need to understand now this is an opportunity that you have that you can go for and you can grab while it's still lasting. Do not wait for 2022 at the final hour when they've already decided it's over and you have to wait for cohorts number 4, 5, 6. The time for you to decide is right now. Now, this moment I'm going to give all of you an opportunity to ask a question. As I'd written earlier on in the chat room, you can write to us any question that you have, and I can see there's a question here written by Kevin Wangila, and Kevin is asking, what are eligibility criteria for a startup entrepreneur with only an idea? And the question here basically just means, what do you do when you are having just an idea for you to start a business as an entrepreneur? So I'm going to take this question to Mr. Zayad. He's going to answer this question, because I can personally say I also had an idea and you told me, yeah, you can start without money. So we can listen to the answer that he has. So Kevin Wangila, I hope you're listening in, because here is Mr. Zayad going to respond to your question. Mr. Zayad.
All right, thank you very much, and thanks, Kevin, for the question. As I had explained in the eligibility criteria, that we are looking for businesses that have started operating for at least 6 months, and they must be having either already generating revenues, or they have a minimum viable product that has high potential to generate revenue. So if you have an idea, already you are one step ahead in your business, but not fully qualified to join this program. So what I would advise you is you joined us for trainings on how to start a business, and we do have various entrepreneurship trainings. So come to us, talk to us, and get to know first on how you can start a business. And once your business has kicked off, you started building your minimum viable product, then yes, you can join the program.
And I hope that answer assists you right there, Kevin Wangila, and also everyone else listening in. For those who understand Swahili, we usually say mficha uchi hazai. So if you have an idea and you feel that it needs input, please speak up. Do not be shy. You can just talk to anyone who works with Hazina, or even a friend who can even tell you to go to Hazina Trust Limited and come for confirmation or to expound yourself, especially if you need a consult. Another question coming from Aisha Habiba. Aisha is asking, how does the mentorship support work? What does it entail? She says, how does the mentorship support work and what does it entail? I'll direct this question to one of the mentors, and that will be Mr. Matata Juma. Mr. Matata Juma, you there? The next question from Aisha.
Yes.
Kindly do answer.
Okay, thank you very much for that question from Aisha.
Sorry, kindly unmute your mic.
Yes, yes. It is unmuted.
We can't
yes.
hear you. We only seeing you smiling, sir.
No, it's I'm unmuted already.
Oh, it's unmuted.
Yes, unmuted. It's not from my.
Muted.
Sorry. Okay, can I proceed now?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
yes, you can.
Okay. So thank you very much for that question regarding the mentorship support. Now we have two ways of doing it. Those that will be selected to go for the training will thereafter be taken through a structured mentorship program that will run for about 2 months, as already explained by Mr. Zayad, and we will be pairing the participants with the various mentors who will take them through a number of areas and topics and subjects, and they will have interactive sessions with them so that they can iron out a number of issues. They can be able to just learn and go through a number of sessions with them to build on their existing businesses. But for those who may not necessarily go through the training after the selection, can still, because we have the existing mentors, are free to contact any of those mentors through the organization who can be able to assist them in whatever issues. As you have already heard from Kamaldip, she keeps on calling Mr. Zayad for support on an ongoing arrangement. So structured for those who will go for the training, and for those who will not are still free. They can contact any of the mentors, of course, through the organization for any support in the course of their businesses, in their activities, in their day-to-day activities as they run their businesses. I think that answers that particular question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Juma. Aisha, I hope you've been assisted by the response that has been given. Yes, this is not even a question, it's more of like a cry for help. Kevin, all I can tell you is that you need to participate. Just apply, give your proposal, and who knows, at the end of the day, you're going to be the one who's going to be selected at the end of the day. Because I can see you saying, I really like the program and how I wish I succeed to go through. Usijali hapa watu wabadilishe mikono. You have to go through the training, you have to acquire the entrepreneurship skills, and at the end of the day, once they see that you can bear the mantle, you'll be given that opportunity to start your business. We're going to give an opportunity of answering, let's say, 2 more questions. And I can see there's one right here asking it's from Kevin Oguta. He or she is asking, what are your target group? And the second question comes in saying, what are the specific contributions for consideration? Are the trainings free or chargeable? That's a very good question, by the way. Is the funding 60% a grant or a loan? People are listening in right here during this meeting. So we will give Mr. Zayad the question on is it funding 60% a grant or a loan? Then we'll give Mr. Mwangala the question on what are your target group, okay? Then when the two of them are done with those two questions, I'm going to throw the other two questions to two different mentors who are participating within the group. Is that fine? Good. So let's start with Mr. Zayad. Is the funding 60% a grant, meaning many patu na nimenda, or am I going to come and pay it later on? Mr.
Good, yeah. So I'm going to start. I was answering the question on whether this facility is a grant or a loan. Now, the facility that we do give is an investment. And that was also in my presentation, that we do give investment either as a joint investment. So meaning we're going to put in money. If you're doing joint investment, we're going to put in money in your business, 60% of the required capital, and the money that you're putting in, or the investment that you're putting in, we are going to share the revenues, the actual revenue that you generate. We're not putting a percentage of the amount that we're giving you. No, the actual revenue that you're going to generate. So if you generate 10,000, 100,000, so whatever revenue that you're going to generate monthly is what we are going to share based on agreed percentages. And the investment that we are putting in will have to be paid back in a maximum of 4 years. So that means on either monthly basis or quarterly basis, or whatever period that we'll agree with the entrepreneur, is this investment would be paid back to the company. So by end of the 4th year, our investment in that business would be 0%, and you will own 100% of it. So meaning we're also going to stop our revenue share. Or another form of investment is we are going to purchase, say your business needs equipment to do business. Say you are in the business of baking and you need a commercial oven. So we are going to buy that oven on a cost plus basis, meaning because Hazina operates on a Sharia compliant model. So we do not charge interest on our facility. So what happens on a cost plus mechanism is the items that we are purchasing, we disclose the cost of those items, and we also agree on the selling price of the item. So we have an agreeable selling price and an agreeable term of when you can pay back the installments. And then we could also have a mixture or a combination of both an investment and assets. So based on your business need, we look at those 3 possibilities. I think I've answered that question.
I believe you have answered the question. Kevin Oguta, that was the first question on grants or loans. Now we'll go to what are your target groups? That will be taken by Mr. Manjala.
So that I can answer both.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You can also answer. You can also take up both questions.
Okay. The question was on the target group, and the other bit is on, let me check. The other bit is on specifications. Okay. Now, the target group, as already highlighted by Mr. Zayad in his presentation, basically, we are looking at entrepreneurs who are already in business. Entrepreneurs basically at least have a product that is generating revenue and has a very high potential of growth in the future. They have at least been in that business for about 6 months on the minimum, and they cut across from a number of sectors. We have about 9 sectors, I think. Mr. Zayad, are you able to project the sectors? We have about 9 sectors or so that we are focusing on. Of course, already you can see that Mr. Zayed has projected here the criteria that we are looking at. That number one, the business is solving a specific, genuine societal need that is environmentally friendly, has a capacity to grow or to be scaled up, and already generating revenues, and also has a high potential to generate more revenues in the future, and that at least one of the key, the founders can commit to fully work full-time in that business, and also can demonstrate ability to at least put in 40% of the capital requirement. Maybe you can take us to the sectors that we are looking at, Mr. Zayed. Do we have a slide for the various sectors that we are currently looking at?
The sectors are on the website.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so
when you go to the website, you'll find the sectors.
Okay. So
yeah, but I can mention them.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, you can go ahead and mention the sectors.
Okay, sure. We have ICT as one of the sectors, ICT and education. We have food and agriculture. We have water, sanitation and hygiene. We have sports and art. We have beauty and fashion, safety and security, energy and environment, and also e-commerce. So basically, those are the sectors.
All right, thank you. Lina, is there another part that I didn't answer from the question? I think I've answered the questions.
One on asking,
Are the trainings free or chargeable?
Are the trainings
free
or chargeable? This one more question.
Okay, okay. Thank you. The trainings have a cost implication for the participants. So we will expect the participants who will make it for the training to at least meet a certain percentage of the cost of that training. So yes, there is a cost. It's on a cost sharing basis, not 100% free. Yes.
So would we say it's 50-50, 20-30, 20-90, 150?
No, it is not in those percentages. In our last cohort 2, the participants paid each 15,000 Kenya shillings.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And thank you. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Juma. Kevin, I'm hoping you've been sorted out. I would like us now to proceed to the next bit on the program. So for those who also again joined in, this is Hazina Accelerator Cohort 3 launch. And we are excited that we are being given an opportunity to be entrepreneurs of our own. Now, the next segment, I'd like to take this chance and direct it to Ms. Hannah Adari. Ms. Hannah Adari is the current CEO of Crystal Park Limited, and she'll be moderating throughout the panel discussions. When I think about the word panel, it just takes me back to having debates back in high school and primary school. You're seated in front of a judge. Yeah, that's how I feel at the moment. So Ms. Hannah Adari is going to be moderating the panel discussion, whereby the panelists will be Mwatata Juma Mwangala, who's present with us, who's the chairman of Hazina Development Trust Limited. We also have Mahmoud Noor, Executive Director of Swahili Port Hub Foundation. And lastly, we will be having Mohamed Arib, co-founder of YouHired.me. So Ms. Hannah Adari, kindly, you may proceed.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hannah Adari. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So my name is Hannah Adari. I'm CEO Crystal Perk Company. We are a management consultancy firm, and we specialize in business development, integrated communications, and advertising. So today I'm here to do communication, and we'll be taking you through the panel discussion. Today's topic is the role of innovation in entrepreneurship. Now, my objective with this session is to sensitize the people listening on what innovation is all about and the role it plays in business growth. I have about 6 questions that I'll share with my panelists. Thereafter, I will open the floor to those who are listening to be able to ask questions to the panelists as well, and also just to contribute from personal experiences and also what they may have picked from this conversation. My first question goes to Mohammed. And it says, with the rising of competition, many entrepreneurs have started discussing innovation. But what is the meaning of innovation and why is it important for entrepreneurs?
Thank you, Hannah. Now, I appreciate you starting with me, but you've given me the most difficult question. So what is it about innovation? What is it that we need to understand about innovation? So basically, entrepreneurs, everyone comes up with an idea. Now, your idea might not necessarily be new. You might be doing something better than everyone else who is existing in the market. An example of this is if you have a baker and you're baking something that is out of this world. Basically, your cakes taste different, you're using different materials, you're using different ingredients, then you are doing something different. Now, the innovation part comes in you trying to do it differently and you conducting the business differently. In that, maybe when you sell, the process of selling involves you uploading a video of the cake you just made, tagging the owner so that everyone on Instagram knows that so-and-so has bought a cake from our cake entrepreneur. And from there on, then you conduct the sale. So you see, you're doing something different. And that's what innovation is all about. It's all about you adding value or changing the way things are done and doing it in a better way. So I hope you have answered the question.
Thank you very much for sharing. I tend to agree with you. When it comes to innovation, it's generally, can you think creatively? Can you design your processes differently, especially for your brand? And are there any opportunities that others have not yet seen, which if you were to test for your business would be able to give you a different outcome? My next question goes to Mr. Juma. And it says, we have seen a number of hubs. I know this was supposed to be for Mr. Noor, Mohammed Noor. Is he present? I was asking, when it comes to hubs, the number of hubs that have been opening up to the community, what are the existing initiatives driving innovations in the hubs like Swahili Pot? And what do you think should be done to enhance innovativeness among the community members?
Thanks, Anna, for the opportunity, and also thanks to Hazina for accelerating and helping innovation and businesses in the coast. Hubs play actually an important role, and especially when you want to build or drive innovation. I'll give an example where we normally do hackathons. Now, for example, there was a hackathon that we did last year, and this one was targeting the blue economy. And you bring people, different people, Probably there are those, if you are talking about fishing, you bring fishermen, and then you bring technology people, you bring accountants, you bring all kinds of people, we put them together. And then during the hackathons, the first thing that you do is you look at the problems that people are facing in a particular sector, for example, fishermen. And at that time, I think one thing that came up was a security issue situation in Lamu, because a lot of fishermen could not they could not go out fishing because the security people, the security team had stopped them, because it's difficult to differentiate probably Al-Shabaab and other people from the fishermen. So as a result, a lot of our fishermen lost livelihoods. So when people sat down and they were looking at how do we solve this problem, is when now they thought maybe IoT can solve this problem, that is Internet of Things. So we came up and built solutions within those 3 days, solutions that will help our fishermen be identified, be located, and also enable them communicate with the security personnel. So it means that every fishing boat that is out there will be tagged using technology, and this will be linked to the security personnel. So it means whenever there is a boat in a particular area, the security people will know this is so and so, and it is registered to us. So that one enabled now the fishermen to continue with their work, and the security men also continue to defend our country without making certain people lose livelihoods. So that is one area, and there are many areas. There are hackathons around circular economy. There are hackathons around water problems, logistics. So hubs help one in building capacity, because we normally have trainings, whether it is design thinking, whether it is on different areas of business. We normally do these trainings. So we build capacity. And then also the second thing, hubs provide a place for better testing. One example is like Pour Water. Pour Water is a company that has started here in Mombasa. They're actually an Uber for drinking water. So they actually, when you want water, there's an app where there are different vendors registered. They have also gone extra. They're not just selling water, but they also test quality every few days. And then you can even rate the water that you're getting. So that one has reduced pricing and also increased quality, because a lot of people are just buying water while they really don't know what is the quality. And I think that is also innovation. So what like Pour Water have done, they have come and tested the application with the developers at Swahili Port and the community, because it's not only the technical part. Before you launch it out to the market, you come in any hub, you'll find an existing community. So the community can start using it and testing it out. And after testing it out, then they will give feedback on areas of improvement. So, and then probably the last thing, so that I also allow other people to contribute, is a hub, just like the name suggests, it is a meeting point. So at a hub, it's like, I will call it a one-stop shop, because at the hub, you will meet the national government, you'll meet the county government, you'll meet private sector, you will meet community, different segments of community. So it is also a networking place. It is a place where you have an idea, you don't know where to start, you don't know who to partner with, you will be able to come and land there. And like, lastly, we normally have what we call Pitching Thursday, where you come, you have an idea that probably it's even popped up, it popped in your mind last night or in a dream. Then you come and share it with people. And then people will ask questions. Out of the questions, they will improve your idea. And we've seen some of these ideas growing and becoming businesses. And eventually some of them will go to places like Hazina, where they are accelerated and funded. So hubs play all these roles, and I know more than that, but I'll rest here and to allow others to speak as well.
Thank you very much. It was very insightful. Now, to pick up on the idea that you can actually have an idea, but you don't know how to implement it or go ahead with it, I'd like to ask Mr. Juma, what is a business model and how can an entrepreneur build a business model that is attractive to investors and other financiers?
Okay. Thank you very much, Hannah, and also to the other panelists who together we are trying to break down this theme and make it come closer home, that we can appreciate it fully as entrepreneurs or would be entrepreneurs. So the question is, what is a business model and how can entrepreneurs build a business model that is attractive to investors and other financiers? That question is loaded, but I will try my level best to say as much as I can.
You need to break it down a bit faster because of time. I'm being told my time is running out.
Okay, it's okay. Now, without having to seem a bit academic, a business model basically is the system through which you create, you design your products and your services, how you capture the imagination of the people that you want to serve, and how you actually serve them to meet the particular need that they have. It is how you craft your idea and formulate your products and services, the channels of delivery, and how you actually deliver what you want to deliver. Now you will realize that investors are interested in the bottom line. The investors are interested in how that model can bring results and how that model is profitable. They want to ascertain that that model is addressing a specific need that has a customer on the ground, or a model that you have created which will identify the customer, and you can be able to deliver and meet and even exceed customers' expectations. So investors at the end of the day will not be interested in a lot of talk. Investors will be interested in, do we have money in that model? Do we have money in that idea? Can they get what we call return for their investment? But as you go for the return on the investors' input, you as the entrepreneur must also be meeting a particular need. And there has to be a balance between you and the investor. So in a nutshell, it is how you intend to meet the needs of your customers, especially if you clearly stipulate the need, the product or the service, the channel and the manner in which you meet the needs of your customers.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And to build up on the same question, this one goes to you, Mohammed. And it's more about, now that we have just learned, we need to meet the need, we need to meet the market, we need to be able to serve a particular area where our product or service can be able to address. My question is, what is the best way to disrupt a market with a disruptive innovation? You did that.
So I think the word disruption nowadays is being overused, and a lot of solutions that are out there, everyone wants to disrupt every other market, and because of a few organizations that came up and disrupted markets like the hotel industry, where we've seen that a startup came and they flipped the whole industry upside down. And what this challenge creates for entrepreneurs is everyone wants to flip every other business upside down and try to run with it. However, for you to do that, I think the important thing is like what Mahmoud said earlier, where you first need to incubate the idea, or the idea needs to be incubated somewhere. You might have a brilliant idea, but then when you go out, you notice that it's not just about innovation, it's also about people adapting the innovation. So there's a concept of diffusion of innovation. And I was telling someone the other day that the current keyboard that you are using, the QWERTY keypad, is actually not the fastest arrangement of keys. It was designed to slow down typing because the typewriter keys needed time to come back down so that they don't hit each other. Now, that is why you have the current keyboard. So it's not the fastest, but however, if you are trying to come up with the fastest keyboard, then it means that now you have to go through how your keyboard will diffuse in terms of innovation and then hit the market and then become the de facto keyboard. Now you notice that that's not easy. So you might have a brilliant idea and it might be the best thing out there that people have ever had. But unless people adopt it, it's going to be very hard. Now, an incubation space gives you time to experiment with the aspects of the idea and see what will work, what will be commercially viable, and what will not fly commercially. Because clearly there are some ideas, they're very nice. And when you ask people, they tell you, oh, yeah, it's a lovely idea. But then when you launch the app, you have 6 users across the globe. And that's not enough to keep you alive. So I hope I've answered the question exhaustively. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to open the session. I'm left with a few more minutes. So if there's anybody who's listening and they'd like to have a question to ask the panelists, this is the opportunity where I'd like to give you to contribute to the conversation. What is the role of innovation in entrepreneurship? Maybe a few personal experiences that you've ever had, or ways in which you have used innovation in your own businesses that we can be able to also learn from. Anyone with a question? I'm not seeing any hands going up.
If you have any question, kindly, you can just speak up, or either you can just write within the chat room if you're feeling shy. But this is the opportunity you have for you to share with us and tell us what is on your mind on the role of entrepreneurship with regards to innovation. I have a question. I'd like to ask it to Hannah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will it be wise for an entrepreneur to just decide to change the systems in business and venture in being a radical individual? What are the pros and the cons of being a radical business person?
It's a very interesting question. Okay, 2 ways to look at it.
Okay.
If you choose to be a radical person, as a business person, you are going after trying to chart new paths. So you're generally looking for uncharted waters and you want to make a mark in those areas. The other side, from a communication perspective, is you're looking for publicity. You know, it can either be positive or negative. So by the time you're choosing radicalness as a strategy, you're either trying to go into new waters, which is leadership, or you're choosing to look for publicity so that it can either be good or bad, but at the end of the day, it will bring traction to you and thereafter to your business. So it's a strategy. You just need to know what is the outcome that you'd like to have. Are you going to lead? Are you going to publicity direction for yourself?
Okay, thank you so much, Hannah. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions? I'll give you approximately, let me be generous, 40 seconds before we go to the next thing on the program. I can see a question already has popped up from Alex Chege. Alex is asking, hello, my question is about newcomers. I'm wondering, newcomers in high school, primary? Okay. That's it, by the way. My question is about newcomers that want to start entrepreneurship while the person is in transition between employment and education, basically the part-time model, a university graduate. Okay, Hannah?
I think the best person to take the question is Mr. Noor, because he runs the hub and it's the best place to be able to incubate ideas and upcoming entrepreneurs. So
yeah, thank you, Hannah. It's a tricky question and it can have two answers, and most of the time you expect to have one answer, but at the time you get two answers. One, when it comes to I normally advise young people. For example, you'll find somebody's in employment, but they are starting a business. So what I tell them, I think it's important to keep the job while you put the fundamentals of the business in place. Because there are times when you might need a fallback, and especially when you've not funded it properly, and also when it has not really got the proper footing. But at the same time, if you have an idea and you really believe in it and you have gotten funding, then most of the time it needs your 100% attention. But then it means that you have everything in place. Because one of the things that is very difficult to people who are running businesses is when you are starting a business, it is the first years of it being a startup, but you do not even have money to pay your basic bills at home. So it means that you will end up having a lot of stress, and even concentrating on the business is very difficult. So for me, what I will recommend is, if you can keep your job as you are preparing the business, because at times, I'll give an example of somebody who works in government, although it is not the best example, because when you're working in government, you are there to serve. But you'll find when you are in government or you are anywhere, for example, you get to network with a lot of people. Now, most of these people end up being partners or clients to your business. So as long as it is not used in a way that now it becomes a bribe, and that's why I was a little bit hesitant to say a government official, because when you're in government and then on the other side you are running a business, people will come to you because they want to have something, then that is wrong. But you can be anywhere. You continue working, so it gives you stability. You get networks, and then when your business can stand on its own, now you can move 100% and run the business. I hope that answers part of the question.
It does. Thank you very much. I'd like to bring the panel discussion to a close. I know it might have been short, but time is not on our side, and hand over back the program to Lina. Thank you very much for all those who are listening and those who participated. I totally appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Before the panelists decide to leave, there's one more question here. Just a last question from Kevin Wangila. He's asking, what are your checklists from the business idea to term it's bankable or to access financial credit from financial institutions? Can Mohammed Garib assist us in answering this question?
Yes, I think it was partly answered by Mr. Mwatata. before, is that in fact, it's not even a very long checklist. You need a good business plan. And beyond that, everything will work according to the business plan. I know some ideas, they require a bit of thrashing because the idea might be new. In that case, then you need to talk to Swahili Pot or any other hub that is near you, so that then you can incubate the idea with them and give it a try and see if it will work, because there it gives you space to test out the waters and see if the idea will be able to gain traction. You'll be able to get fast customers. You'll be able to get your first paying customer. After the first paying customer, then what works for you after that to make it bankable, to make investors attracted to the idea? It's only a business plan that will sell from there on. There could be multiple things that you could add on top of it, but the bare minimum is a good business plan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. Kevin, I hope you've been assisted with that response. And also to add on that, you need to also have a backup plan before you're making your transition from the business or employment that you're working in. Remember, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And another thing is you need to have a sounding board. Have a sounding board whereby you can go to mentors, you can go to people who are already in business and ask from them what are some of the hoops and the loops that I'm supposed to either avoid or I'm supposed to go through. Now, we'd like to take this very fast due to time. We want to do the pitching session, and the pitching session will be taken up by our moderator, Mr. Zayed Said. And he'll be taking us through on what it entails to have a pitch. So Mr. Zayed, kindly over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Lina. Thanks to the panel that we had. The next is a pitching competition, and we had lined up 3 entrepreneurs to pitch today. Unfortunately, one is not in the room, so we'll have 2. But before we go to the entrepreneurs, I want to introduce my 2 judges who will be scoring or giving marks to the pitches. My first judge is Mr. Motata Juma. The judges are all from Hazina Development, and Mr. Motata would be assisted by Madam Heidi Mumia, who is a non-executive director of Hazina Group. Now, the reason as to why we have this pitch competition is the entrepreneurs that are going to pitch today, they automatically go to cohort 3. These 3 entrepreneurs had expressed interest, and they are going to cohort 3. Now, the first or number 1 from the pitch competition will automatically qualify to go to step 3, which is the training workshop, meaning number 1 who would, the number 1 today will not be pitching in step 2. So automatically, he or she will go to step 3, which is eligibility to attend the training workshop. And number 2 and 3, they qualify to go to step 2. So meaning they will face another panel in step 2, where they will pitch to fight for a spot in the training workshop. So without taking more time, I want to confirm if we have Abed Nego Chalo of Love IT Solution in the room. Abednego. Looks like he's also not here. Okay, so that leaves us with only one entrepreneur then left, because we had Rotato Enterprise, who is also not in the room. Rotato Enterprise, are you here? Rotato is also not in the room. The last, Aisha Habiba of Sports Fit Academy. I see Aisha. Aisha, are you there?
Hi everybody, I'm here.
Aisha Habiba?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
She's on mute. Aisha Habiba, one screen is on mute. Okay. I can see she's typed that she's there. Okay, so Aisha, you have 5 minutes to pitch. Then will be followed by 10 minutes of questions and answers from our judges.
Okay.
Just confirm if you can see your pitch deck on my screen.
I can see it. I didn't know this was going to be a competition. It's actually my second time pitching. So yeah. So can I start?
I think the issue is my sound here. So Aisha, your 5 minutes starts now.
Did you know that pre-adolescents and adolescents are a subpopulation at a high risk for risk-taking behaviors and emerging mental health issues? Good evening, everyone. My name is Aisha Habiba. I am the founder and director of Sports Fit Academy. I graduated in 2018 with a Master of Arts in Poverty and Development from the University of Sussex. I am currently doing an MBA with IFC. According to statistics, if you can just move on to the next slide, 60% of the Kenyan population are young persons, and that is referred to as the Youth Bulge. And this population are facing increased mental health risks and behavioral problems, which are associated with peer pressure, early pregnancies, drug abuse, HIV and AIDS, violence, and many more. So young people are at a critical stage in their lives and they need a benevolent narrative. They need a lot of guidance and they need to be provided with a benevolent narrative about their identities and about their futures so that they can have the courage to get involved and make a difference. And this is where Sports Fit Academy steps in. We address the disconnect between youth aspirations and opportunities for talent development. And we do this through 4 programs meant to promote young persons' social, physical, and cognitive needs. The 4 programs are the soccer program, we have a mentorship program, we have a public health program, and an environmental awareness program. Our target market is the Nyali region. We have 2 branches in Nairobi and Mombasa, but currently our target market is the Nyali region. And Nyali has a population of about 217,000 people, and it has quite a high number of international schools. So we plan to tap into the growing upper class section and target high-end clients, and we'll charge them a premium price. If you move on to the next slide, you'll be able to see our total addressable market, which is the total available market, and we compare it with the serviceable available market, which is the portion of market that we can acquire. And we're giving ourselves, we're launching on the 30th of October. So by December, we hope to have achieved at least 30 paying clients. And to increase our serviceable available markets, we will be diversifying. We are also selling soccer equipment, including soccer balls, jerseys, and others. If you can move on to the next slide. How do we intend to drive ourselves? We're doing this through a combination of digital marketing plus direct marketing, which includes Facebook ads, a website, and other social media pages. We're developing a blog to increase our SEO. And as I mentioned earlier, we are diversifying. We're selling sports gear on our website and social media pages. Our competitive advantage is that we offer a holistic approach that meets the physical, cognitive, and social needs of adolescents. Our direct competition is Phoenix Mombasa Academy, which has a large customer base. But we are also adopting a model that is called the cross compensation tool, whereby one group of our customers will pay and will use the profits or proceeds gained to support disadvantaged communities, because our model is a community enterprise model. And lastly, onto the last slide, our total financial need is 1.5 million Kenya shillings, and we have managed to raise 900,000 Kenya shillings. We have managed to raise 900,000 Kenya shillings so far. I'm done.
You're done. Thank you very much. On to the judges.
Right. Thank you. Aisha, I was almost wondering whether the presentation is for today or for the 30th of October. But then I realized it is 30th is the day you want to launch.
In Mombasa, we have a branch in Nairobi.
Okay, in Mombasa. Yeah. Okay. So you're already operating in Nairobi?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Now, I am looking at your model of doing business. I wanted to understand something here. You said in Nyali, we have about 217,000 people.
Yes.
Is this the target market you are looking at in Nyali, or the population within Nyali?
No, it's not the target market, it's the population within Nyali. Our target markets are actually schools located in the Nyali region. We are adopting the B2B and B2C model. And for the B2B model, we're targeting private schools in Nyali region. And for the B2C, we're targeting consumers directly.
Okay. Have you done your identification of the schools within Nyali that
yes,
give you business? So yes, how many have you identified in Nyali?
At the moment, we're targeting 10 international schools in Nyali, including Light Academy, Greenwood View Academy, and others.
Okay. And out of the different streams that you have identified where you believe you generate income, which would be your major income earner? Is it the training, is it the mentorship, which area? Because an investor would be interested to know where will the money come from out of those streams that you have identified.
At the moment, our soccer program will be earning us the maximum revenue, plus the sale of soccer equipment, which includes soccer balls and jerseys.
Okay.
Yes.
So you said the soccer. Okay, sorry. The first one you said was the soccer.
The soccer program, the soccer program, the soccer training.
Soccer training. How would you charge that?
We charge 4,000 per child.
4,000 per child.
1,000 a non-refundable registration fee.
Okay.
Yes.
For what duration?
4,000 is for a month. 4,000 per month.
Per month. And the frequency of these activities, will it be on weekends, or how will it be done?
Every Saturday for 2 hours.
Every Saturday for 2 hours.
Yes.
So in your projection,
yes,
at what point will you be able to break even? Because you've said that you have a need of 1.5 million, out of which you've raised 900,000. So you have a deficit of 600,000 Kenya shillings.
Yes.
So basically the 600,000 is what maybe you want us to fund.
Yes.
And at what point, how long will it take you to break even?
So if we charge 4,000 bob per child per month, and by December, if we have 15 paying children, that will be 15 times 4,000, that will be 60,000, plus the non-refundable registration fee, we would be making 78,000 per month. And hopefully in like 5 months, we would be able to break even if we include the sale of sports equipment as well.
In 5 months?
In 5 months.
Are there other organizations that are doing what you're doing within Nyali? And yes, within Nyali?
Yes, there's Phoenix. Phoenix, it's just one. Phoenix Mombasa Academy, yes. The other one, they closed last year due to COVID.
Okay, so what will you do different from what
5 minutes to go?
What will you do different from what Phoenix is doing?
What we're doing differently is, number one, Phoenix does not provide training for girls. So that will definitely set us apart from Phoenix. And we have modern soccer equipment, including the adjustable Velcro belt, and a training chute that will definitely set us apart from the competition. And we also have the mentorship program, environmental awareness program, and the public health program. I believe that will set us apart from the rest of the competition.
Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you to Madam Heidi.
Okay. Hi, Aisha, and congratulations for making it this far. So, okay, most of the questions Batata has just asked right from my mouth. So my question would be, I would really like to see your impact and whether it connects with your problem statement, because you talk about a lot about mental health issues. So I would like to see a direct impact on how your program contributes to awareness of mental health issues in the region. And then about your total addressable market and the serviceable addressable market. So you're saying in 2021, if you target 30, so do they have to do 30 at once for the whole year? Or you can take, because I'm just trying to gauge your capacity in terms of how many people you can sign up. So do you take 30 at once and then they have to go through a program for the whole year? Or you can take them in batches? That wasn't so clear. And then
3 minutes to go.
There should have been a how, like once they get into the program, what is it that exactly do to now get you to achieve the impact you desire? And then maybe finally, also I was also so interested in the revenue model in terms of where you're getting your revenues from, and then yeah, the kind of revenue projections also for the next 5 years. That is what I would say, other than what my colleague Matata has already said. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the questions. To address the mental health question, if you provide young people with a means of physical exercise, I think that addresses the mental aspect as well. And if most of our employees are below the age of 35, if you provide employment to people below the age of 35, you're also solving a mental health issue. Unemployment causes mental health issues. And our mentorship program is meant to address mental health problems and behavioral problems as well. With regards to the number 30, we'll be doing that in batches. And in terms of revenue, we'll be getting revenue from soccer training, a mentorship program as well. But that for the mentorship program, we're intending to start next year. We intend to use the revenue gained from the soccer training to fund the mentorship program, and from the sale of soccer equipment, including jerseys and balls as well.
Okay, so maybe also because I think the challenge for online pitches, unlike the one for physical, I didn't have the opportunity to see your face. So then I would have preferred your presentation to, speak for you in terms of, like
1 minute.
Like I saw in the executive summary, there was two very interesting information and data, but it was too tiled up. So it was really hard to follow. So maybe next time when you're preparing an online pitch, I think the rules are a bit different when you're doing an online pitch and a physical one, because if it was a physical, I would have just been reading it from your face. But because now I am forced to look at the presentation, then it really has to be representative of what you've been saying. You've been saying a lot of very good things in the follow-up remarks rather than what was there in the presentation. Otherwise, because you're the only woman and last woman standing, I think. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you're all invited to the launch on the 30th in Nyali.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Time is up. Thank you. I think you utilized my time well. Thank you for that. Congratulations, Aisha. You are the only one pitching today. The other two, I don't know, they could not make it for other issues, or they got scared, I don't know. But congratulations. And as I had mentioned earlier, you qualify to go to step 3 automatically, since you are the only one. So I believe there is no anyone else. I believe there'll be no number 1 and number 2 here. Yeah, you are the only one. So you qualify to go to step 3. Just to answer Lenson Mumo, who is asking what is the purpose of pitching. We had picked 3 entrepreneurs who had expressed interest. These are entrepreneurs from our previous cohorts. They could not make it to the final round. So this was an opportunity for them to go to the next cohort. So 3 of them had been picked, and they were to pitch today and see who qualifies to go to the training workshop. And as you heard earlier, all our entrepreneurs in the program, they receive mentorship support whenever needed. So they are all at liberty to get in touch with the mentors and the trainers to ask questions and guidance. And that is one of the beauty of being in this program. So I don't know if I could give Mr. Motata, because I believe Madam Heidi gave her feedback when she was ending the question. I don't know if Mr. Motata, you have some feedback for Aisha before we close this session?
Right, thank you. I think number 1, from the presentation, by Aisha, I could see a sense of passion. So I believe that she loves what she is or intends to do. But maybe the question I did not ask is in terms of her technical skills and abilities. Does she or the other founder or the other owners of the business have the technical ability to run this kind of a business venture? But besides that, the model to me did not come out very clearly. And as I said earlier on, investors are interested in seeing where the money is. They will put their money where their mouths are. And therefore, she can clarify it, make it a bit more specific, point exactly where the money is coming from, because at some point she said by the end of December, there will be 30. Then when she was answering the question, she said 50, which means that area has not been fully clarified. So if she can clarify the model and point exactly where the money is and the sustainability of the business, then I can be sure that money will be flowing into that business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Aisha, you got that. You have some work to do. All right, so I think I'll take it back to our moderator for the day, Madam Lina, to take us to the next session. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. For those who haven't experienced what a pitching session is all about, that is the virtual pitching session. You can imagine it being physical, huh? And Mr. Zayed will be there all the time and be telling you 2 minutes, 1 minute, you're done. So, Aisha, all the best. And what you have in mind, I believe it's going to be of great importance, especially to the community. And as in regards to terms of mental issues, I'm really hoping that you're really going to not make it more of making a profit at the end of the day, but also reaching out to members within the community. Because as you said earlier on, unemployment is a big issue and can lead to a lot of mental stresses and all. But all the best, Aisha, and thank you so much for participating in the pitching session. And now we're going to have the keynote speech that will be handled over by Mr. Mustafa Ramadan. And Mr. Mustafa Ramadan is the chairman of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Mombasa chapter. And before he comes in, kindly mute Samora Godfrey. Samora Godfrey, kindly mute. Thank you so much. Mr. Mwatata Juma, you can take up from me so that you can introduce Mr. Mustafa to the platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lina, for taking us thus far. And to all the members in this program today, thank you very much. Now, my business today or this hour is basically to bring on board our keynote speaker, Mr. Mustafa Ramadan, who has graciously sent to us a representative, one of the directors at the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries Mombasa chapter. And it is my pleasure, therefore, to bring on board Mr. Samora Godfrey, who will represent the chairman and will give his keynote speech, and thereafter officially launch cohort 3 of the accelerator program. Karibu Bwana Samora.
Mr. Chairman, all guests present, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Samora. I'm representing my chairman, who is Mustafa, is not able to join us today. This meeting started a little bit late, so we've been forced to leave our comfort places and we are out of office. So my background might be a little bit noisy. However, I anticipate to do what I'm supposed to do. Now, why are we here? Hazina Accelerator Cohort 3 launch. I had the privilege of attending the Hazina Cohort 2. I also represented Mustafa the last time. So under the theme of promoting entrepreneurship through innovation. What is innovation and entrepreneurship? From the business perspective, it is not by coincidence that the most developed nations are also the ones with the highest level through basic access to capital, which Hazina does, institutional stability, the impact of innovation and entrepreneurship on the economy and society more broadly cannot be overstated. The impact goes beyond usual issues such as increased productivity, competitiveness, and job creation, and spills over into areas as wide as regulation by the governments and authorities, infrastructure, environmental, and social inclusion. I have indicated a few areas for further engagement. I'll not take a lot of your time. So number one, innovation as a catalyst on regulatory improvements. The right conditions, including regulations, would be in place to enable a steady stream of innovations. The reality is that this is often inverted. Regulatory changes can be drawn by the innovations themselves from the bottom up, and this is not bottoms up. Let's not confuse. For example, in Kenya, Safaricom launched a series of increasingly innovative financial services through its M-Pesa platform, such as electronic money transfer, sending and receive money, virtual savings, that is M-Shwari, virtual credit, M-Kopa. The government watched while the company experimented and innovated. And once the demand for its services was demonstrated, then the government enacted and amended laws to adequate the functioning of the financial system to M-Pesa's offerings. This set a new regulatory stage in Kenya that benefited other financial tech startups and helped democratize access to finance. People like Tala came on board. People, I'm sure all of us know some of these startups that lend out money. When regulation follows innovation, it tends to work better than predictive efforts, which are often based on non-transferable international practices and struggle to support innovations that are not yet fully understood. The second one is innovation as a promoter of infrastructural development. In the early 2000s in Africa, the growth of telecom pioneer Celtel, we all remember Zain, it started in Kenya as Kencell, was hindered by insufficient cell phone coverage in countries like Congo, Gabon, and Zambia. But the company did not just wait for the government to invest. So it went out of its way and invested in cell towers, as well as other complementary infrastructure, such as roads, to be able to service the towers effectively. Water supply for workers and their communities could have basic water access in remote areas. The investment paid off for Celtel, enabling it exponential growth of the business and the countries where it operates, which benefited from the improved infrastructure. Similarly, in Nigeria, Tolaram launched its popular brand of instant noodles that is called Indomie. We also have Indomie here in Kenya. The first of its kind in the country, which quickly became a hit and a must-have dish across the country. The growth of the business, however, was being hindered by the precarious infrastructure and logistical incapabilities in Nigeria. Tolaram, therefore, went ahead and invested more than 350 million in developing its own logistics company that it was using to distribute the brand, with more than 2,000 trucks and building infrastructure, including electricity, sewerage, water treatment facilities. The company also took a leading role in developing a $1.5 billion public-private partnership infrastructure. The next one is innovation and environmental sustainability. This generation of entrepreneurs, like the young girl who's just done a pitch, and innovators, especially the younger ones that are available at Swahilipot, they tend to be more environmental conscious than business people from the previous generations like myself and the government bureaucrats. In fact, currently, many startups are set up specifically to mitigate environmental challenges. From Colombia to Nigeria to Kenya, for example, young innovators contribute to the economy by using recycled plastic materials from the Lego-style bricks, which are often used to build now affordable housing and cab roads. Global startup Airborne Water, a company from the US, designed a technology that efficiently produces fresh and potable water from the air's humidity, contributing to sustainable water supply even in the remote areas. When the business itself is not focused on solving an environmental issue on the younger generation and entrepreneurs, then they're generally more mindful of mitigating potential negative effects, following sustainable practices and adopting a triple bottom line approach to the business. The next one is innovation and entrepreneurship in mitigating social norms. We live in a continent and a country where social norms bedevilize every day. Companies around solving pain points that have identified in their own lives and communities. For example, Hazina has been able to identify the problem of financing startups that banks do not do, which they're currently doing. And as a result, Hazina is able to make money. Many startups have business models that are only rely on solving social problems or targeting the base of the pyramid as consumers, workers, and suppliers. In fact, 3 of the examples provided above, that is M-Pesa, Centel, and Iromi, illustrate businesses that have great social impact. Also, there's a subject of social entrepreneurs that run NGOs, enterprises that are committed first and foremost to addressing community challenges. These become social enterprises. They're not driven by profits. Hospitality Beyond Boundaries, which is a company, provides health service to the poor and underserved communities in Malaysia and Cambodia. Zomato Feeding in India combats food wastage in India and provides meals to the poor. It has a network of about 25,000 volunteers across more than 100 cities in India and has more than 33 million meals to the people, has served more than 33 million people to the people in India. She Says is an organization that fights for gender rights in India, especially those women and girls that have been in promoting inclusion. The reason why our DP, the Deputy President of Kenya, wants his bottom-up approach is because of inclusion. The youth, examples of the ones at Swahili Pot, feel they've been left behind. Therefore, just pardon. Many countries face challenges when it comes to the inclusion of minorities, the youth, people with disabilities, and women in the economy. In certain regions of the Middle East and Africa, for example, working outside the house, working outside the home is still not seen as an appropriate activity for women. Most men would prefer their women to work at home. They are expected to take domestic roles or perhaps become teachers, nurses, or work in agriculture and manufacturing. In Africa, for example, only 9% of startups have women leaders, according to Venture Capital for Africa. In such a context, the development of programs that promote women's entrepreneurship, for example, through business education, incubation, and acceleration, helps debunk the taboos and shake up the status quo, where men have always been the dominant and they want to dictate where women work. Initiatives such as the Newark Club in Morocco and the Cosmos Innovation Center in Ghana, Senegal, and Mauritania are making targeted efforts to support women entrepreneurs. Similarly, abound throughout Africa and the Middle East, they are paying off. I would like to engage and encourage Hazina to have a status special fund for women entrepreneurs so that they don't have to compete with men. The landscape for women in the workplace is changing for the better, and as female entrepreneurs become more role models and serve an inspiration to others, regardless of sector and occupation, and the economy benefits too. According to the Women's Entrepreneurship Report, 90% of businesses with international reach, which also exceeds their male counterparts. This has been demonstrated today, where we've only had one person pitching for business who is a woman, despite the fact that there are men, several men in the incubation centers. And the last one is innovation in strengthening ties with diaspora and addressing brain drain. We've had several sad stories of Kenyan girls who get stranded in Saudi Arabia and some other countries of the Middle East. As much as we may not call that brain drain, it is still a drain. So many developing economies suffer from brain drain, with an important share of the highly educated and well-resourced people leaving the country in search of better opportunities in developed countries. The growth of vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem creates opportunity for people to choose to develop their talent and invest their resources locally instead of voting with their feet. Voting with their feet means we are not satisfied with Kenya, so instead of voting in the ballot, we leave the country, we go to the neighboring countries. It also motivates the diaspora to re-engage with the local economy. Global, part of a Fundación Chile, promotes and facilitates the development of business projects and the introduction of innovative technologies through its network on influential Chileans living in the United States, Canada, and Europe. Pangea, in turn, connects African entrepreneurs and successful diaspora members by providing both training and business intelligence for diaspora investors engaging in the diaspora in the startups Pangea has invested in. Let us share, agree, or disagree, and let's keep this discussion alive. Hazina Development Trust promises to build a better life in the communities they serve by creating wealth so as to eradicate poverty, promote social justice, promote cross-cultural understanding, tolerance, and human rights. This is according to Hazina's website. Let us take this opportunity and apply today. And with these few remarks, I declare the Hazina Cohort 3 open. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samora. I think this should be the part where we should be clapping our hands, but instead we can just raise our hands like that and say welcome to the cohort third launch of Hazina Accelerator. And since it's already 2 minutes to 5 p.m., we cannot end this meeting without having heard from the CEO himself, Mr. Zayed, and he's going to give us his final closing remarks. Mr. Zayed, to you.
Right, thank you. Thank you very much. This is an interesting moment where we have officially launched a cohort 3. I don't know how we clap virtually, but there's an icon on Zoom for clapping. So, and we can do the celebrations virtually. That would be nice. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, I think we've come to the end of our event today. Thank you so much for being with us up to this hour. You know, you are very busy and you decided to leave your busy schedules, keep them aside and attend this event. So that is an opportunity given to us that we will never take for granted. I want to first pass my appreciation, special appreciation to our keynote speaker, Mr. Samora Godfrey, representing the chairman, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Thank you very much, Mr. Samora. You mentioned very important things in regards to innovation and entrepreneurship. We had picked this theme specifically to sensitize youth because we always talk about innovation, but people don't understand what is innovation. And innovation is very broad. When you talk of innovation, you're talking of a lot of things, but what we wanted to come out clearly was what is the role of innovation, or how do we excel in business by being innovative? Because we have seen a number of youth entrepreneurs simply copying other people. Just because Mr. Samora is doing this business, I also want to do the same business. But there is nothing innovative coming out of that business, yeah? And we felt it wise to bring this discussion today so that people could be enlightened and think of how they can be more creative and innovative in order to provide the needed solutions. So thank you very much, Mr. Samora. And my appreciation as well goes to the entire team at the Chamber, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. We really appreciate your support. And one thing that I would want to request the Chamber is to see how best they can support youthful entrepreneurs who would wish to join the program, but they are somehow blocked because of the fee of joining the training workshop. So I think this is a discussion, Mr. Samora, we could have together with the chair and the team at Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. I also want to pass my appreciation to my amazing panelists who discussed the topic of the role of innovation in entrepreneurship, moderated by Madam Hannah, the CEO of Crystal Park Limited. Crystal Park is the publisher of Mombasa Magazine. They also run a podcast on their website, mombasamag.com. And basically what they do is to ensure that the small businesses are heard. So they create a platform for you to raise your voice and be heard to the entire world. So thank you, Madam Hannah, for your support. Mr. Mahmoud Noor, he has been a key ingredient in this accelerator program. He's supported us with the launch, and the team at Swahili Pot has also been very helpful. We did a physical event early this year when we were launching cohort 2, and this time we wanted to try virtual to see if it would be different with the physical. And I think, Mr. Mahmoud, you've seen, we've learned something that we can discuss later on. So thank you very much, Mr. Mahmoud Noor. And Mohammed Harib. Mohammed Harib has been a partner in this since the inception. Even in cohort 1, we had Mr. Mohammed Harib sitting in the panel of judges together with Madam Hannah. So thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed Harib, for the support you've given us in this journey. I also want to pass my appreciation to Madam Heidi Mumia, who was one of the judges in our pitching session. Madam Heidi Mumia is an insider and an outsider. An insider at the board, because she's a non-executive director, and an outsider because she doesn't take part in the management of the group. So thank you very much, Madam Heidi, for your support, both in this program and all the other activities we run in Hazina Development and its subsidiary companies. I also want to appreciate Madam Aisha Habiba. Madam Aisha Habiba was the only brave person who came out today and pitched and said, I'm going to cohort 3. So thank you very much. We really appreciate, and we are ready to walk the journey with you. And we want to grow SportsFit Academy together with you. Not forgetting Madam Kamaldeep Sandhu and Mr. Boniface Kea, who were in, they were among the finalists in cohort 2. And they came out today to give their testimony on their experience in the program, what they learned, and I believe we have learned something from what they shared with us. Thank you very much, Kamaldeep Sandhu of Malaika Gifts and Interiors, and Mr. Boniface Care of Afya Boost Care Limited. I also want to appreciate our able chairman, I had kept him last because he's an insider, but a very key resource. He wears many hats in Hazina. So being the chair, being the MD of Hazina Advisory, and many other roles. Yeah? So thank you very much, Mr. Matata Juma Mongala, and your contribution to the success of this organization is something extraordinary. So thank you, and thank you everyone who participated today. Thanks to all the people who asked questions, and I wish you all a happy evening. Please take note that the application is already open on our website, www.hazinaaccelerator.com. So when you log into the website, first go through the website, get to learn more, and click on Apply Now button, which will give you the form to submit your application. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing your applications and talking to you more. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.